The Sacramento Kings are reportedly open to trading point guard De'Aaron Fox. He's currently on the COVID list himself and is having a bit of a down year, but Fox is still averaging 21 points and 5 assists per game. He's in year one of a 5-year max deal. All right, that brings us to the Daily Thread. We're going to bring back Tom E. Curran, De'Aaron Fox superfan Tom E. Curran from Gillette, and just all-around good guy Chris Forsberg and Celtics insider, who's just sitting right over there. I could reach out and touch him. And Forsberg, I'm going to start with you because I wouldn't want to be the one making this call. I'm assuming if you're trading for De'Aaron Fox for the Boston Celtics, you got to trade your star player whose contract matches up. That would be Jaylen Brown. Are you doing Jaylen Brown for De'Aaron Fox?
No, and here's why. I actually really like De'Aaron Fox. I think he would pair especially well with Jason Tatum. We got a glimpse of it during USA Basketball a couple years ago, and I am certainly intrigued. But here's the problem. I think the Celtics need to target 3 stars, and I think you got to give Jason and Jaylen and mystery star number 3 a chance, and every chance to make that happen before you go down the potential of moving them separately. Now, is there a player that I would be intrigued to move Jaylen for? Probably, but I don't know if De'Aaron Fox is on there. The other wrinkle in all this is, like, the Kings are starting to sort of figure it out before all this COVID stuff. They've moved him to 2 a little bit, learned how to play him with Halliburton, so I don't know if they're going to be in as much of a rush as we might have anticipated to move him.
Curran, that's your guy.
My contention would be this, guys. When I say that I'm not a huge Jaylen Brown guy, I understand how good he is. That's why I'm talking about players like De'Aaron Fox and straight swaps, because he would fit better with Tatum. So until you get door number 3 and whoever walks through that, why don't you try and meld the very best player you have, Tatum, with a better fit next to him? Jaylen Brown, again, he's a good player, but he doesn't necessarily play in tune with Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown would be better served of being, the 4th or maybe 3rd option on a great team or the 1st on a bad team. 2nd option, similar to the guy that he's playing with, needing a lot of touches on a mediocre team. I just don't think that's the way to go, and that's why I think De'Aaron Fox would be a better fit. Plus, you see when the Celtics play turbo, Chris. You've talked about it yourself when they play with pace. De'Aaron Fox is a rocket. I love it.
So I disagree. I think that Jaylen Brown could be a top 2 guy on a great team, but I just wonder about, like, the fit. And you bring up the fit, and I say I don't hate the idea, Forsberg, of having your other star, if you only have 2 stars with Jason Tatum being the other, be a point guard. Like, doesn't it make more sense if you can bring in a star point guard?
Yeah, and so that's the one thing I'll relent is that, and whether it's with Jaylen or without, I think point guard is imperative to this team, in part because we've seen that Jaylen and Jason, while they're improving as playmakers, that's not their specialty. And you want to give those guys the ability to play to their strengths, and having a point guard that could set them up, especially the way that De'Aaron Fox does with his speed, it's super intriguing. Again, like, of all the players that we've mentioned, whether it's Damian Lillard or Sabonis, like the ones that are out there that are gettable, I don't love any of those for the Celtics. De'Aaron Fox, if this report is true that they might consider moving on, is one that certainly sends the antenna up and one they have to at least think about. I just go back to it. When I look around, I'm like, okay, there's Jason Tatum and De'Aaron Fox. Is that enough to take down the Nets or the Bucks? I think you still need that other piece. You'd be really banking on your core in that instance. That's when my guy Rob's got to go to another level. Marcus Smart, if he's still here, has to go to another level. So there's still a lot of wrinkles there. I prefer the 3-star path.